Okay, welcome back, everybody. What's going on? I'm Odysseus. I am your host of the Atlas podcast. I want to say that since I've started this podcast, a lot more men have been reaching out, and I'm very grateful for you. If you have any questions, if you're looking for guidance, I'm here for you. In fact, I started this podcast because I wish I had someone who was already had gone through all of these things, or who was experiencing these, or at least had their own insight about what to do about these situations, how to essentially, live my life the way I want to, not the way that this voice in my head is telling me to live my life, or not the way that other people are telling me to live my life. I wanted to live the life that I wanted for myself. And yeah, I mean, that's why I started this. I've been going through this own journey with myself for about 3 years now, and it's been absolutely transformational. And I really wanted a mentor during that time. I got through, and I've had many mentors, not necessarily one that stuck with me, but I've had many people that have helped me. And I am a firm believer in the following philosophy, that you are very, much not going to accomplish anything on your own. Even self-made billionaires, there's no such thing as a self-made billionaire. It's not like one person did that. Even okay, look, you can't have a self-made billionaire, because if you really think about it, who's the one providing all the money? You have to also think and consider, all the people behind that billions of dollars. Who gave you that money? Who supported you? Who raised you? You're not self-made. None of us are. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So the point I'm trying to make with all this is that I wanted someone who could help me, and a lot of people did help me without even realizing that they were helping me. A lot of the people that I would do my exercises with and that I would practice on and stuff, they were there to help me. So point being is, I want to be just another tool, another resource for you to be able to get the most out of love and life, because that's what I want. And I realize that that's what a lot of men are seeking as well. And you might not have that blueprint, and you're not expected to have that blueprint. No one's ever taught you anything about that. So I want to give you my perspective. I want to give you my knowledge. And from the looks of it, you guys have been receiving it very well. So I'm grateful for you. And I keep getting a lot of inquiries from you guys, basically just wanting to talk more, chat more, answer some sort of specific life circumstances you may be going through. And I'm here for it. I can't answer all of you all the times during the day, but I'll try to respond to everyone in a reasonable hour. So thank you all for the support. Now, I want to consider, because I used to be like this, but are you very competitive? Are you someone who sees other people's success as a sort of threat to your own success? Do you think that there is a limited amount of things that can go around? Do you get jealous when you see someone who is doing something or who has something that you want? Or even, do you get jealous when you see someone who's doing something better than how you're doing it? Jealousy often drives us further away from our goals. Recognizing jealousy, recognizing that I am jealous in this moment, is actually a big, big gift. And it's a gift because when you have jealousy about something, if you harness or harbor, I should say, jealousy about something in your life, it often means that there is something that has power over you, but something that you're letting have power over you. You're literally telling this thing, right? Let me just say, wealth and relationships are the two most common things that I see in a lot of men. Those are the two things that they feel the most jealousy around: seeing people that are rich or have material things that they want, or have a beautiful, happy, healthy, abundant relationship. So you're giving these things power, right? You're essentially, what you're doing is, imagine there's a pedestal, right? You're putting this thing over yourself. You're putting this wealth, you're putting this woman, you're putting this person, you're putting this boss, you're putting this circumstance over you. You're not valuing yourself enough, right? So being competitive is good, but being jealous just lowers your own vibration. It lowers your chance of actually getting success. It makes you feel overwhelmed. Growing up, I was always the fastest swimmer in my league. For just, I guess, visual context. At 9 years old, I was 5'8". At 9 years old, I was 5'8" and about 160 pounds. Like, I was a very big, little chunky, tan boy. Like, there's a picture that we have in the living room, and everyone asks about it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, is that you?" Where I literally look like a happy, chubby little like Mexican boy. Like, oh my God, I was such a cute boy. But that's not the point. The point was, like, I was feared. I was absolutely feared in the pool. Like, I was a rocket in the water, and you wouldn't have expected it from like the way that I look. But yeah, I was a killer. I was a killer in the pool. And for the longest time, like, I dominated my league. I dominated my area. No 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old even got close with me. I mean, I was 12 competing with 18, 19-year-olds. Like, I was a fast kid. And then I wasn't so fast. 13, 14, 15 years old, I was starting to realize that kids were starting to catch up to me, and I wasn't this rock star that I once was. And in an attempt to sort of mitigate that, sort of retain my power back to me, I did a very impulsive, reactive thing. I pursued different practices that were meant to make me faster, make me better, make me stronger, so that I could become a better swimmer. And all of these practices, all of these exercises, all of these therapies and doctors and exercises that I was doing, every single one of them was with the same intention. And that intention was to be better than everyone else and to be liked, to be feared again. And that is what I wanted. And that exact mentality, it was that literal exact mentality that shifted me out of a place of authority, of certainty, of having this sort of inner peace, inner strength in myself. I shifted out of that, and I shifted into this sort of fearful person that needed validation, that needed acceptance, that felt like I wasn't enough just the way that I was. I became very jealous of other people. I became very resentful of my own teammates. I mean, at the end of the day, my teammates, I love them, I support them, and I want the best for them. But in swimming, and all the swimmers listening here are going to know, like, in swimming, it is very much like even your friends are your competition. Like, I started having resentment, anger, jealousy towards my friends that were getting faster than me, and it didn't feel good. Nothing about that ever felt good to me. But I was always like, felt like I was one step behind, because I was always chasing my tail, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do this, that, all of the above for me to get better. Now, the absolute cherry on top for me was at 16 years old, I was at the gym. And one of the first few times I had ever really lifted, I took a 45-pound dumbbell and I said, this is the weight I will curl. I mean, many, many, many years later, today, in fact, I don't even curl 45 pounds today. Now, I was at the gym, I was 16 years old, I was lifting this 45-pound weight, and then the very next morning, I woke up and my elbow was stuck at 90 degrees. I could close it, but I couldn't open it past 90 degrees. And if I did, it literally felt like someone was putting a dagger in my arm whenever I opened it, and it hurt so bad. Now, I say that because this sort of energy of I need to do more, I need to get ahead. It was that sort of panic in my nervous system that caused me to sort of bring this injury onto myself. It took 2 years of physical therapy for me to fully open my arm out again. And it ended my swim career. It was one of the toughest things that I had ever had to go through. When you, your whole life, believe that you're going to go to the Olympics and you're going to be the greatest athlete ever, and you're going to be loved and appreciated finally. And then all of that getting wiped away from you at such a young age, I was devastated. And now I realize that this big, grand, massive story that I had told about myself to myself was exactly what was holding me back. I don't need these awards. I don't need to go to this amazing event. As great as it is, I don't need to be there to be great, to be loved. I could just be me. I could just be me and be loved. And that's good enough. You can just be you and be loved. Worry, anxiety, feelings of unworthiness, these are all emotions that should be indicators to you that there's something you allow to have power over you. I felt like my power came from my success as a swimmer. My success as a swimmer was taken from me, and therefore I felt powerless. I had given this idea, I had given this story that I had made up in my mind power over me, and it was literally holding me captive. So I want you to really sit and ask yourself and really consider the following question. Where in my life am I jealous right now? Where in my life do I experience jealousy? Do I get jealous around wealth? Do I get jealous around other people's happiness? A lot of the times we feel jealous about the things that we don't have, about the things that we may want, which means that if you have it and you don't want it, it means that it has the power over you to make you happy or to make you sad or to make you resentful or jealous or etc., whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make with all this is you can tap into that energy that you want right now. It's not the thing that you want. It's the energy that thing provides for you. It's that feeling of, oh, I am worthy. Don't you want a really nice car? Well, why do you want that nice car? It's probably not because deep down, I should say, it's probably not because, oh, you want girls to think you're cool and you want to drive fast and, oh, because younger me really wanted one. Why you really want one is because you want to feel worthy inside. You want to feel like you're good enough. And so this thing is a physical, material identifier as to I am successful. But what if I'm telling you now that you can be successful right now, you can embody the success right now, and though you may not have the car, that belief, that self-embodiment that you now have is now bringing you closer to that reality, is bringing you closer to that ability to attain that car. You know what I mean? Like, if you think like a poor man will never have the mindset that he is good enough for this McLaren or this Ferrari or this Lamborghini. But if you think like the Ferrari man or the McLaren man, then you become the Ferrari man, the McLaren man. the point I'm trying to make is jealousy is an amazing indicator, is a gift for you to understand that, okay, this is a place in my life where I'm experiencing some lack, right? Well, what if I recognize that now? What if I can see that lack, transform that lack into certainty, into confidence, into power in myself, and then from there, I can become that person. You know what I mean? Like you can't possibly become this person if you have a poor person's mindset. So see this lack and then allow that to transform your current mindset of lack into power. And that's what's gonna really transform you. Now, let me shift context that I think more people have been into. So think back to when you freshly get into a new relationship. Think back to those excited feelings of like, wow, I just started something new with someone that I really like. And you know how like when you would see other women, or if you're a girl watching this, when you'd see other guys or anything like that, and you would have this feeling of like, oh, I don't even care. I have my person. I don't even care about you. And then all of a sudden, this attractive person comes and enters your life suddenly out of nowhere, or maybe flirts with you or something like that. And then there's temptation. This sort of sudden temptation, this sort of sudden like new opportunity is literally an example, a direct example of your vibrations and the vibrational energy that you are now at. Okay, now this sounds a little woo-woo, just give me like 5 minutes, let me explain. So when you are jealous or sad or whatever, you're vibrating at a very low energy, my friend. But when you have feelings of love, of abundance, of like, oh, I'm so good, I don't need you, thank you, but I have everything I need. That is the most ultimate like experience, like the most ultimate like being that you could be, is someone who's like so fulfilled, so content with his life that, you know, things just come to him and he doesn't even need them. He doesn't even need them. So that's how you are in a new relationship. Like you're still goo goo gaga over this new person, and other people can come into your life and you might not even feel the temptation. Now, if you do feel the temptation, then that is probably a soul correction that you need to address. You know what I mean? Like if you fold to the side of temptation, then that's something else you might want to address and think of. But the point being is, when you are at this feeling of like, wow, I'm great and I know it, then people all of a sudden want to be with you. They are attracted to you. You know when you can walk into a room and you can just kind of feel like when someone's mad? No one wants to be around someone mad. But have you ever walked into a room when a really successful person walks in and then, you know, the room goes quiet a little bit, everyone looks, but this person hasn't even said anything? Like that is just aura, aura points. Like you can walk in with enough certainty, with enough sort of like authority that people just kind of know and you don't even say anything. And that can be translated in any aspect of your life. If you are an extremely loving person who is super grateful and just has a lot of love in his life, then a lot of women and people might feel attracted to you because you have that love, and people want that. People want that. And whether that's for good or bad, that's up for you to interpret. But don't you want that sort of like feeling? So if you've experienced something like that and you know what I'm talking about, then essentially you can kind of play the system a little bit. Now, you don't have to actually get into a new relationship to be in this same feeling of love and gratitude. You can enter that vibrational level at an emotional frequency, at an emotional state within you, and then things will literally just start to change and align as though you are already in that state. I'm sure you guys have heard of the secret, where, oh, if you visualize, then the thing will happen. In a way, yes, but what's more powerful than your thoughts are your emotions. If you can literally emotionally recreate the feeling of entering a new relationship or being wealthy or being successful or being happy, then you will literally just over time, embody that reality if you do it for long enough. Literally fake it till you make it. But that's the thing. You feel so great during these exercises that you don't even feel like you're faking anything. Like you don't even need to feel like you want to attract a relationship at that point, because you have so much love already for yourself, for other people, like around you, that you don't even need anything else. And that is the beautiful part. That is what I want you to understand, is like you can manifest anything simply by understanding and changing your vibrational energy within. If you are embodying that person who has no wealth, who is strapped for money and fears going out because he doesn't want to use any money, then you will continue to be that same person. Your mind loves repetition. It loves it. So if you're living your life with the same thoughts, with the same things around you, with the same feelings in you, then you'll obviously end up living the same life that you did the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. Don't you want to do something new? Don't you want something new and exciting in your life? So long as you change any one of those states, you're opening yourself up to a new reality, a new future, a new self, a new you. You know, this is so funny because you can, in a matter of seconds, be a poor, sad man and change his state into becoming the wealthiest, richest, most powerful, humble man ever. In a matter of seconds, all that's changed is your inner reality. From there, however long you can keep that reality going is however long, you need to realize that into the physical world. You are just living the reality that you have believed for years. If you always believe that money is hard to make, then everything that you're going to do is a living example of that exactly. Now, when you feel confident in yourself and your abilities, more opportunities will present themselves to you to challenge your confidence, right? So this is kind of sort of the next step. So say I am, and I'll walk through a specific example with you. Say that I am someone who is fearful about where my next paycheck is going to come from. I don't want to go out because I'm scared that there's not enough money in my account for me to support that right now. Well, the best thing, the most fulfilling thing to do for yourself is to realize, because now you have money and now you have you. So you're putting money above you. But once you internalize this belief that I am above money, and so I will do what makes me happy, knowing that the money will not make me happy or lack thereof. And so that being so, I'm going to do what makes me fulfilled, and therefore I put myself above money. If you're not doing something just for the reason that you don't have enough money for it, then you are simply inviting this lack into your life. But you don't want that. I don't want that for you. No one wants that for you. But you just need to embody, like, how would a billionaire act in that circumstance? What would a billionaire do there? Ask yourself, seriously, ask yourself, what would a billionaire do in this scenario? The billionaire would go, no hesitation, no questions asked. And he would pay the check as though it was nothing. Doesn't matter what that number is. He would put his card down and he would feel indifference. He would feel, yeah, okay. It just is. Isn't that so much more powerful than putting your card down and feeling like, oh God, like I don't have enough money for this. Like, oh my God, like how am I supposed to pay for this? How am I supposed to, no. Don't stress yourself out. You are right here, right now. All you have to worry about is your fulfillment, is your happiness, is your inner state. Everything else will be figured out, I promise you. Just keep this belief for long enough for it to be realized. See, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. if you feel confidence, it doesn't mean that everything in your life will sort of align with your confidence. In fact, you will experience more resistance in this time. This is that old self, that old programming that has run your life. This is that old programming coming and presenting itself to you and saying, oh, but look, like, you don't have enough money. Like, what are you going to do? You don't have enough money. Like, oh my God, you should be so scared right now. This is when you need the most confidence. When you have made the conscious decision to go the opposite direction of where you're going, or to go in a specific direction, and then it seems like there's a certain roadblock in the way that's stopping you from getting there, that is the very challenge that is literally built from the beginning of time itself. Whatever you want to believe, that challenge was there for you to overcome this limiting belief. It may look like a challenge in this moment, but it is a gift. It is an opportunity. It is a chance for you to grow, to become this person that you know that you are deep down. You can do this. I promise you. I promise you. Just take the leap of faith. If it doesn't feel like it's making any logical sense, that's good. That is good. You don't need it to make logical sense. Oftentimes, the greatest miracles come when you least expect them. In fact, you will experience more. More people trying to take advantage of you, more circumstances where money is a problem, more loneliness when you decide to release those feelings of lack. You will feel more sadness, you will have more of these chances will come into your life that will tell you, no, go back to the old self. This is everything for you to not do that. This is your moment. This is your moment. This is the best thing that could possibly happen to you right now, is that experience, that negative experience. It is there to teach you, to help you grow. And you can go two ways. You can either go back to your old habits and live the same life you've always lived, or you can take the risk and you can go to the unknown, where there is infinite possibility. Do you want the life you're living now, or do you want something with infinite possibility? That is the decision that you have to make. Now, let's back it up a little bit, because we discussed a lot. So in a nutshell, the formula is as follows, and I've written it down for my convenience, and I'll put it in the show notes as well down below for you as well. But first off, consider what problem you have identified with. What makes you jealous? That is the problem. The problem. Lack of money, lack of relationships. Those are the two biggest ones for many men that I've worked with. Now, second point. Put yourself in the shoes of the person that already has that thing. Okay? Third step, now embody this person. Walk like this person does. Talk like this person does. What values does this person have? What beliefs does this person have? How does this person treat other people? How does this person treat himself? What does he do on weekends? What does he do for work? How does he hang up the phone? You need to understand this new persona, this new self, this new being so intimately, so deeply, so personally, that you literally take this old identity, this old ego of yourself, and you just erase it, and you just forget about it. And you forget about the parts that you don't want. You know, everything that you want to keep in this new self, in this new reality, keep it. Keep it. But this is your chance to let go of everything that's been holding you back and shift into a higher destiny, into a higher reality. Now, how do you do that, right? You are this person. Now, as this person, I will have a lot of challenges. Naturally speaking, there will be many opportunities that will present themselves for me to go back to my old self. But you want to take every single challenge that someone or something gives you about your new personality, and I want you to see it not as a challenge, but as a sort of test. You know, like if I pass this test, I will elevate and I will become one step closer to becoming this person. In fact, screw that. I will elevate and I will be this person. I mean, every time you pass a test, you are just proving to yourself and to the universe that I am this person. And so you don't have to identify with this old self before, because that's not you. That's literally, you now literally have proof that I am not this person, and that I am this person that I want to be. This challenge is not meant for you to get mad. It's not meant for you to feel impatience, right? You're walking your dog. He's being very, very, very slow, and all you want to do is go home and do work or do nothing and just watch your show, right? This is not the time for you to feel impatience. This is the time when you have to, at the very most, feel the most patience that you can for your wonderful dog. And this is when you can take it one step further. Feel gratitude that you even have a dog. Feel gratitude that you even have legs to go walking your dog, and that it's a beautiful day outside to go and walk your dog. You know, let go and just let go. Let go of the tension, really. I mean, that, when I say overcome the test, it just means feeling the tension within your body, literally, and then just releasing it. That feels good. That feels good. Now that we've done these 4 things, now comes the time for the easiest part, the easiest step. This is step 5. However, it is the most important step in the whole process. Now that you are this new person and you have identified with this new reality, you need to release everything. Release every single thing that you wanted to begin with. You want love, you want money, release it. Release it fully, completely. I don't need any of it. I don't need any of it. I have everything. I have everything that I need. Everything I need is right here. Everything, everything, everything. The more you embody that, the less you need, really. I mean, so many men that I know are so desperate that you could just feel their energy. You could feel this feeling of, I need sex, I need money, I need these things. And those are the ones that often have the least. The guy that's always like, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. It's just some girl. It's just $100. Whatever. That's the guy that gets more than you do. Release it. You don't need it. You're better than that. You don't need anything. Now, you want it, yeah, but you don't need it. The more content that you are with the life that you're living right now, the more miracles you are welcoming into your life. And I'm not saying don't have big goals, don't have big dreams, big desires. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying have them, but know that you can be happy before you have them, right? If you want wealth, be happy with what you have now by releasing the need for wealth, and then embody that wealthy person. You know, it's sort of like a parallel. Like you want to be this wealthy person, and you want to be okay with the life that you're living now. It seems almost paradoxical, but that's the self. That's the reality that embodies that of a true masterful manifester. So there's this thought experiment that I did with Joe Dispenza. For a lot of you that don't know Joe Dispenza, he is a inspirational thought leader. He is amazing, man, and I highly recommend you listen to some of his meditations. They are transformational with the self, and they really deal with working on the inner emotions, because that's the state that transform you, is your emotions. So there's this experiment that he was running where, and I'm going to butcher this because I don't have the notes in front of me, but there were these people who were part of this experiment, and they did, one, people who were literally playing the piano and learning the piano. Two, people that were literally just visualizing themselves playing the piano. And three, it was the group that had visualized and felt themselves playing it, like literally feeling the tip of the piano on their finger imaginatively, and then imagining themselves playing the song like slowly and being very deliberate with the notes that they're playing, right? Now, in this experiment, what he found was, obviously, the group that grew the most was the one that played piano, right? Obviously. The group that didn't really grow at all was the group that just visualized. And then the group that grew so many neural pathways about playing piano in their brains without ever touching a piano, ever, was that third group, the one that had not just visualized, but felt the essence of playing the piano and literally learning through their mind. And their motor skills were more attuned to that of a piano player. I mean, they had literally shifted after 2 weeks every day. I believe it was for 30 minutes every day that they had done this visual practice. They had believed it into reality. Like, what? And I'm not saying that they had learned how to play a song after 2 weeks of not touching the piano, but the motor skills, the intentionality, the sort of way that you play the piano, the heart and soul of a pianist sort of like just entered their essence, entered their sphere. They had identified with this self, with this new self, and so therefore they started moving towards that reality. Now, I did something similar. I said, well, that's an interesting experiment. Let me try. So for 2 weeks, I did the same thing, visualization, but this time, instead of playing piano, because I'm a gym bro, I thought I would do a muscle up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to spend 2 weeks, I'm going to spend about like 10, 15 minutes a day just visualizing myself doing a pull-up with full force, like an effortless, not a pull-up, a muscle-up, an effortless muscle-up. Like I'm up on the butt. I can't go any higher because I'm wearing a suit. But, you know, you're up there, you're hanging, and then literally like just like the easiest, most effortless thing I had done, I had just swung myself up and I was up on top of the bar. And keep in mind, I have never done a muscle-up before, ever. After 2 weeks of visualization, I still didn't do it, but I was pretty close. I was really close. And actually, after 4 weeks, I finally got the muscle up. I did it. But I did maybe a total of 3 pull-ups, 3 muscle-ups during that entire 4-week period. I know people today that have been attempting to do muscle-ups for years. I did one effortlessly after 4 weeks of visualization. Like, it's not rocket science. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. You know, all I'm asking you to do is to invest mentally in yourself. Don't you want to do that? And then don't you want to minimize that timeline to get from A, where you are now, to Z, where you want to be? What you're doing is you're literally bringing these closer together by visualizing and feeling and embodying. This is really powerful stuff. So I welcome you. Take the next 2 weeks. Be very intentional about a goal that you want to set, about something that you want. to do within these 2 weeks. And it can honestly even be something just stupid, something whatever. You know, that's what I had chose, muscle ups. It was just a dumb little whatever that I wanted to do. And visualize yourself doing the thing 10, 15 minutes a day, but not just visualize like yourself going through the steps, but rather like literally feel, what is the temperature of the room? You know, what are you wearing? What does it smell like in there? You know, how does the clothes feel on your body? What about the shoes on your feet? How does the bar feel on your hands? How do your muscles feel as you swing up? And where does the bar land when you top out? Right? Like, and it doesn't have to be the muscle up, but it could be anything. Like, just visualize every single sensation, every single feeling the whole time. How much are you sweating during this thing? Like, how do your ears feel? How does your hair feel? How do you feel? Like, are you tired this morning? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling energized? Like, just visualize it as clearly as you possibly can, and do that for 10 to 15 minutes every single week for 2 weeks. And I promise you, you will see a huge, huge difference in whatever that is that you want to do. I welcome you to try that. And if you do, I welcome you even more. Message me, and I want to know what you did. Just privately DM me, and you don't, unless you want to comment whenever you want, I'll try and get back to you. But I want to know, like, those of you who did do it, how did that go? How was that? Did it feel natural? Did it feel right? Did it even work? So, we talked mainly about jealousy today and how we can transform jealousy into wealth, into abundance, into success. I know that this one was a little longer than the rest, so there's that, but I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. And with that, I bid you adieu, my friends, and I'll see you next Friday.